Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we'll have some tips on how you can avoid the heat this summer. And officials are listening to concerns from community members about AI.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up, well, the time is 6 a.m. on Wednesday, July 10th. Now let's go ahead and send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Time is flying by, that is for sure, and it gave us a few seconds to be able to get into the color mode here on our web camera outside our door. Here at WYMT, a few breaks off of the distance, you can see the wet parking lots and the roads below. We have dropped from 79 at the top of last hour, now down to 72. There's been a little fog over the last couple of hours for at least the time being. It's not an issue, and it shouldn't be now, as a cold front continues to swing on through, taking out these upper 70s and lower 80s out with it, and picking up the breeze with a drier flow of air progressively getting into the region today. Scattering of showers across eastern towards southern Kentucky this morning. More showers coming out of southern Kentucky. Check that central Kentucky along the I-75 corridor, and we'll maintain this shower threat over the next few hours. But as we head through the afternoon, we end up losing that threat, and we're going to be partly sunny. You'll notice the air is feeling better as we get our forecast high back up close to 80 again as we head through this afternoon to this evening. More about the First Alert 7-day forecast, a dry stretch of weather. For how long? It's coming up in this hour. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. Bishop Willie Lamb died on June 22nd at 100 years old. The World War II veteran was remembered Tuesday morning. The Lower Letcher flag wavers gathered in front of the Letcher County Veterans Memorial Museum as the hearse drove by. Those who attended say Lamb was an icon in this area and a servant of God. One flag waver says the community will continue to feel the loss of Bishop Lamb, but says he knows he is in his heavenly home.
He was one of the most friendly men. You meet him, he'd have that big smile, and he'd have that, I always got large hands, so I have a small one, reach out, and he was just a people person. He loved people. And, you know, well, he lived his eulogy. Everybody knew Willie, knew of him.
Along with being a World War II veteran, Bishop Lamb was a miner. In April of 2022, he was an East Kentucky Leadership Award recipient. A memorial service was held for Bishop Lamb on Saturday in Akron, Ohio. Meteorologists at the National Weather Service in Jackson are urging people to take the heat seriously. The current heat index is topping about 100 degrees, and WYMT's Caroline Mueller tells us how to avoid the risks that come with this kind of weather.
As we reach the peak summer months and temperatures increase, it is important to be familiar with the risks that come with heat and how to stay safe.
It's still just the beginning of July. We still have a lot of summer to go. And unfortunately, we are used to hot, humid summers here. So even though we do have a special weather statement out there, let's just remember that when it gets this hot, especially with the humidity, to treat it seriously.
Jane Marie Wicks with the National Weather Service in Jackson says you should pay attention to the heat index rather than the actual temperature.
If you're going outside and you have heat indices in the upper 90s to 100, you're probably going to be looking at some potential for heat illnesses.
Wicks says many people do not realize that heat is one of the leading causes of death in the United States.
If you find yourself in a situation or someone that's with you and they start to get dizzy, they start to get extremely thirsty, they start sweating, maybe have some nausea, some weakness, that is a telltale sign that you're getting heat exhaustion,
which can quickly turn into heat stroke if you do not get them in a cooler place right away.
Loosen their clothing, get some cool water inside them, and try to lower that body temperature.
The City of London Fire Department is offering a cooling center for the public to help in avoiding these heat emergencies.
We've provided a cool place to come in, sit down, and cool down, which is air conditioned. And of course, we provide hydration, which is water, to actually hydrate your body.
Wicks says you should also check on your animals, neighbors, and anyone else who may be more vulnerable to the heat. In London, Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
You can find more tips about how to stay safe in the heat on the London Fire Department's Facebook page and over on our website at WYMT.com. A new Kentucky task force met yesterday to talk about artificial intelligence in the Commonwealth. Lexington Republican State Senator Amanda Mays Bledsoe is the co-chair of the special committee. At Tuesday's meeting, a representative from Microsoft gave local leaders an overview of how AI works in the private sector. The task force will develop recommendations on Kentucky's rules and regulations for AI.
There are very understandable concerns moving forward about the rapidly changing technology in terms of biased outputs, disinformation, or poor data privacy. So our goal is to ensure Kentucky remains proactive in embracing these technology offers and also protecting the public for some of its challenges moving forward.
Any recommendations from the meeting will be considered by state lawmakers in the next session. Yesterday, the Appalachian Arts Alliance hosted a live comedy event. The Great American Punchline was a free show open to the public. It discussed topics that are happening in the country and addressed it in comedic ways. Executive Director Tim Deaton says events like this one and other Arts Alliance sponsored events promote a sense of community.
Anytime that you can get community together and to create friendships, bonds, to find new and fresh ideas, to find connection with current ideas, things like that. It's just all the way around a good opportunity when you bring community together.
Deaton says the Appalachian Arts Alliance is happy for any opportunity to support the community, its artists, and entrepreneurs.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It is a stifling start to the day still across portions of eastern Kentucky. 81 Prestonsburg, 81 in Harlan, but there's relief coming down the pike in from the north and west as we do have a cold front that's moving through the region and it's producing scattered showers right now. And on the pinpoint Doppler radar from near Louisa coming into Pike County, here come the showers, and well, we got another round of some showers back out to the west. So keep that in mind with the travel weather forecast for this morning. Partly sunny as we have already seen some breaks in the clouds with the sun rising. A scattering of showers, but the shower threat is in the progress of diminishing. Midday, early afternoon, which means on the drive home, partly sunny, breezy, and yeah, the air is feeling better than it has over the last couple of days. A forecast high, yeah, the temp back up close to 80 for this afternoon. How about the next few days? We'll let you know when the next chance of precipitation is after this morning. Your first alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Olivia?
Thank you, Tim, and thanks for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. When we return, there is party division as the first Democratic senator publicly expresses doubt the president can win.